Ooh, what a ride we're on right now, right? What are you doing to stay grounded? What are you doing to stay in your hearts? That's kind of what I want to know about today and talk about today is bringing it back to love, man. Bringing it back to love. Allowing yourself to be triggered so that you can move through the things. Because if you keep avoiding the work, you'll stay stuck in that habit trail. You'll just stay stuck. Waffle House was a big lesson bringer for me in many ways, and it keeps on. So if you give yourself that time of reflection and introspection, where you can sit and be with your thoughts, preferably outside, where you have a nice neutral template, you have a nice neutral ground or canvas upon which to work, then hopefully you'll have a lot easier time diving in and sinking in and doing some real powerful cleansing. And so I mean by that, sitting in nature, sitting in a chill spot, and just kind of meditating, a bit, or just like letting your thoughts kind of move through you, breathing into your heart space, and giving yourself that time of peace and reflection. Maybe have a journal with you, um, a piece of paper and a pen to jot down anything that comes up, so that maybe you keep track, and stay engaged in the journey. This is a wonderfully fertile time, as I've said before, to really, dive in. And I was talking yesterday about the stuff around not doing and how that can impact our sense of worth and value when we aren't a contributing member of society. Like, then what are you? Because we've been sort of programmed and conditioned to believe that mostly we're the worker bees, and that if we're not working, um, then of what value are we? And so play with that and see if you're triggered around that, if something comes up around that for you, so that you can heal it. And so how do you heal it? Well, you start with being aware of that thought, because if that thought stays in your unconscious, you can't heal it. Dr. Phil says you can't heal what you're not aware of. True. So get that thought up there and create the safe space for you to work with it. So if you know that you are a highly sensitive person that feels things super, super deeply and super, super strongly, and that sometimes you're prone to retreating or getting super stuck, if you know this about yourself, then you need to have some really strong support systems already in place before you do any of this work. So that means, having the phone by you so you can call a friend, having that, weighted blanket, or having the tools and support systems that already work for you. If you have any inkling of a doubt that you will struggle with this, don't do it. I don't want you to put yourself at risk or in jeopardy of harm. Don't put yourself in harm's way. That's not what I'm suggesting. I'm hoping that you feel encouraged to start a gentle dance with yourself and start strengthening that heart, the energetic heart, the spiritual heart, the one that's always there for you, the one that is a badass, that is the tool, that is the motor right now that will get us through this. And that when banded together and the collective consciousness pulls in that warrior heart, anything's possible. So I'm hoping that you get into that and strengthen that without putting yourself in harm's way. So you've got your tools of support, the things you need, your system set up. You dive in, you listen, you get the thought, whatever it is. And you just start questioning it. The power of questions is like unbelievable. To just kind of like Byron Katie, her work, the work is amazing, because you're really, putting it in the spotlight, and making it reveal its truth, that it's not really true. Because when you put it up to the light, it can't hold, because it's not real. It's just it's a perception, it's a projection, it's a program, and it doesn't serve you, right? So then it's so easy. A lot of times it'll just dissipate. It'll just disappear. It'll just fragment and fall away. And then you're left with your authentic truth, like who you really are. And that's freaking awesome. It's super grounding and super anchoring. So you become aware of the thought, and then you challenge the thought. You can use things like access consciousness, or you can use Byron Katie's work. There's other pieces and other modalities, I'm sure. Creative questions is also another wonderful tool. And then you let it go. You let that work do the work. You let the tool work. You let it work. A lot of the success comes from letting go and allowing it to happen. Just allowing it to be. Staying in the space. Staying in the space of the allowing. Not rushing off to go get back to it. To, make up for lost time. Watch for that. Because that's a real thing, where you feel like, oh my gosh, I've been gone so long. Oh, I've missed, 100 emails, or I've missed 20 calls, or whatever your ego is saying that you've got to make up for what you just missed, and that it's almost a trigger to be guilty. So watch for those, because they're definitely potentially around that corner. Hope it helps. Have a great Thursday. As we look forward to the weekend, and for lots of folks, it's just another day now, isn't it? I mean, it's, it is what it is, kind of bleeds into the next. Be super kind with yourself, yeah, and with each other. Like, we're all trying to figure this shite out. Okay, we're all asking questions. Hopefully, we're all reading information. Hopefully, a variety of sources. Hopefully, and the more that we can like stay in our hearts and be compassionate, super compassionate and empathetic with people, the better we all will be. Admit that you don't know what you don't know. None of us do. We don't know what we don't know. Dr. Ted Morter said that. Love him. Great system. So reach for that kindness, dude. Like, just take the breath before you reply on that post. Take a breath. All right. And ask yourself, what is the kindest thing I can say right now? And like your mom told you, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. I mean, it's really simple, y'all. We're all trying to figure it out, and kindness matters, and compassion matters, and it's gonna go a long way in the grand scheme of things. So let's keep it clean and kind. Yay! Happy Thursday. See you. Bye.